Side Benrahma and Pablo Fornals look set for a January exit. Listen, Pablo Fornals, I think, is a brilliant servant to this football club. He's someone that has really bought into the culture of the football club, really through and through. And, you know, he's almost a cult hero, I think, of West Ham. So it'll be very, very sad to let him go. But ultimately, I think he's definitely down the pecking order at West Ham. I think I'd rather see players like Maxwell Cornet get a chance. Lucas Paqueta is, of course, another player that's sort of ahead of it. Well, not sort of, he is ahead of him. It's going to be very difficult for him to break into this West Ham side. And I think if we can offload him in January, I think that's the best case forward, especially considering that right now we could be talking about a situation where Pablo Fornals leaves on a free transfer, because obviously we did extend his contract by a year for a clause in his contract. Now, the current teams interested are Real Betis and Seville. Of course, Betis is headed by the man who actually bought Pablo Fornals to West Ham for, I think it was around £24 million from Villarreal, Manuel Pellegrini. He seems like he's leading the race to re-sign his Spaniards. And the fee, listen, it's not going to make for great reading, is around £7 million, which is pretty bad. It's a pretty bad fee, especially for a player with vast Premier League experience, that has played many games for West Ham, has shown a lot of what he's about, and he's only 27 years of age. I mean, it's not an awful age to be. He could definitely go back to Spain and reignite his career and, you know, get himself back to where he's been. But it seems like he wants to go back to Spain. People have said that he doesn't look like he's bothered about playing for West Ham anymore. He's not showing the same passion that he once did. And, you know, I don't know if that's my opinion necessarily, but, you know, I think at the moment it's probably his time to go. You know, I think next season, again, unless we sell him in the summer, which will probably mean that he's probably worth even less, you know, we probably won't get much for him. So realistically, you know, 7 million or nothing is kind of what we're looking at the moment. Freeing up wages as well, freeing up a place in the squad. I think it's a good deal. I think that it's something that we need to make happen. And, you know, there's no point in having dead wood at the club. Let's be honest. You know, summer's going to be, as it always is, a massive, massive chance for West Ham to properly rebuild their squad. You know, we don't know what's going to happen with players like Lucas Paqueta, for instance. If a big club came in for Bowen or Kudus, like, it could be very, very difficult for us to be able to negotiate deals. At least if we are offloading players like Benrahma and Fornals, we know where we stand. We're not forced to say, well, we can't sell you now because, you know, we've already sold blah, blah, blah. So for me, Fornals, I'm reluctant to let him go, but I think it is his time. Side Benrahma is a different situation for me. I think he's never lived up to his potential at West Ham. A lot of that, to be fair, I think is down to David Moyes because of his man management. But realistically, there's very few games you can highlight to me where, say, Benrahma has proved his worth and shown even what he's shown in the Championship. I mean, when we signed him, I thought, my God, this is a player who's just going to light the league, light the Premier League alight. He's going to be the next Dimitri Payet for us. You know, I mean, I don't know if he's just had a really good skill compilation, but I was watching this football and thinking, my God, like, how are we getting a player of this caliber? He just looked unreal. I was thinking, you know, why are a big club not coming in for him? He looks so good. He could be the next Dimitri Payet for us. And of course, he never really lived up to that. And a lot of West Ham fans, I think it's probably, you know, a lot of people talk about the David Moyes in-out situation. That's probably the situation in the last couple of years where people have really changed their minds, myself included. I'm ultimately on the fence about it. Like, I've been David Moyes out, David Moyes in, David Moyes out. Like, it's been a very big thing around West Ham. But I think the debate between Fornals and Benrahma, and even the debate about Benrahma himself, is probably a situation that I literally change my mind on every single week. Start of this season, I thought, you know, he was really good last season, really, really good. And he's got the potential to now solidify himself in a West Ham shirt. And then towards the end of it, I was thinking, at this current stage, I'm thinking, no, he's just not at it. He's not at it at all. And I remember last year, and maybe even the year before that, I was begging for him to play for West Ham. I was thinking, Moyes, what are you doing? You're playing Fornals. You know, Benrahma was ultimately so much better. And then Benrahma was playing. I was thinking, oh, man, you need to play Fornals. Like, you know, he's so much better in the midfield. I mean, ultimately with Fornals, the biggest issue is that we've played him where he's not meant to be played. Fornals for me, if we had a situation where Alvarez was the holding midfielder, Fornals was taking that James Ward-Prowse role, and Paqueta was where he is now, playing that sort of 10, left wing, whatever you want to call it. My God, what a midfield that would be. But he never got the chance to play there. You know, I think he's more of an 8 and a 10 Fornals. He's always showed that he's better in that situation. He's defensively very, very good. I never understood. I think it's a massive missed trick for West Ham that we never ever explored that avenue. Of course, now we have James Ward-Prowse, who is smashing it for us, or at least he was. He's kind of on and off now, but in my eyes, he smashed it for us. And you know, I just thought I've never got that chance. And that, you know, for me, that is a massive missed trick from West Ham. But Benrahma, let's be honest, I think maybe a year ago you would have said, you know, he hasn't got the chance he deserved. Definitely a year ago you would have said, 2 years ago you would have said, absolutely he needs to start playing more football. But at this stage now, I think you've been here long enough. You know, you just haven't proved yourself enough. You haven't proved yourself enough, and I think it's probably time for you to go. And you know, just looking at them as deals on their own. Wolves, Brentford, Lyon, Marseille, they're all interested in Benrahma, but they're only interested in loan moves. But we have said, quite rightfully so, that we're not interested in loan moves at all, unless it was a loan to buy. I would actually agree with that. I think a loan to buy would be a good situation for us, but no club has said that they want to come in for him. My gut feeling is that he might still be. I think Fornals will leave at the end of the window, but I think Benrahma will still be here, which is a shame. And well, to be fair, I don't know, because I think Moyes is done with him. The West Ham fan base is done with him. I think if it's deadline day and a loan move comes through, surely Moyes will think, do you know what? I just need him off the books. I just need him out of sight, out of mind. You know, I just need it done. And I think if we do get that over the line, we bring in someone like Ibrahim or Osman, which looks like it is fairly certain to happen. It looks very, very, very likely. We're also looking to bring in Jota of Al Ittihad, I believe it is. It's definitely a Saudi Arabian club. Former Celtic winger, Portuguese, young, looks very, very good. I'm very impressed by him. I think what absolute business it would be bringing in Osman and Jota for Benrahma and Fornals. You know, if we loaned out Benrahma, loan in Jota, you know, that for me is a straight swap. Brilliant business. We sell Fornals for 7 million. We bring in Osman, a young, exciting player, for I think around 18 million. It might take a little bit more than that, but it's 15 million pounds got rejected, I believe. So around 17 million pounds maybe looks like what we're signing for, 18 million. If we could bring him in for that, you know, we're ultimately, I know this is not how the transfer and the finances work, blah, 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 but you know, it's not career mode. But in the grand scheme of things, we've sold Fornals for 7. We've brought in Osman for, let's say, 18. That's 11 million pounds. We brought in Jota for nothing, and we've sold Benrahma for nothing. So they're a straight swap. That for me is amazing business. That is brilliant business, because you've got a young player like Osman who is for the future, but has the chance to get some game time. You've got Jota, who, in my eyes, can start for West Ham straight away. Start him over Cornet, start him over Fornals, start him over Benrahma. I think he's an amazing, amazing player who can come in and start scoring goals. I think he will go to a very decent club very, very soon. Whether it be at the level of Newcastle or, you know, maybe like a Liverpool or a Spurs, I don't think it's quite that level, but certainly, you know, maybe go into, I mean, Wolves is an easy choice for him because of their Portuguese links. But certainly like a Brighton, for instance, I could see him going to a place like that. Listen, for me, I think that's brilliant business. You spend 11 million. And again, I know this is not how it works. It's not career mode. It's, you know, the books and stuff, they all roll over. I'm not an absolute expert on finances, but if you just want to look at it at a very linear, very, you know, basic view of understanding, then we've essentially sold Fornals for 7. You know, he's on decent wages. We've got him off those wages. We bring in Jota. We get rid of Benrahma. We bring in Osman. The only issue with Jota, and I don't think it will happen, I just think it's going to be too difficult, is his wages. He's on currently, I think, £200,000 at his Saudi Arabian club. I mean, we're not going to be able to get anywhere near that. We're just not going to be able to do it. Maybe we're able to take him down a bit. I mean, he's not really played that much for them, so it depends. You know, a lot of people are sort of regretting their choice to go to these Saudi Arabian clubs. A lot of people are want a get me out right now sort of card. So, for him, it makes sense. I go to the Premier League, I play for West Ham, I basically showcase what I can do. I put myself out there for a club to sign me, and hopefully in the summer, a big club comes in for me. I mean, it makes sense from the player side. Maybe he'll drop his wages in order to make that happen. And for us, of course, if we can only loan out Benrahma, we can't get the money now. It makes sense to bring in a loanee to replace him. That it works for all parties there. But for me, I just don't think it's going to happen. The Osman one, I think, will happen, and I think Fornals will leave. But from what I'm being told and my gut feeling, I don't think West Ham. I mean, apparently we're after another two. After another two, Jota, Osman, obviously Phillips, of course, announced today. That would use up another one of our loans, and I think we're kind of after a striker. But again, that just to me seems so far away. I mean, as I'm recording this video, it's the 26th of January, so we've only got 5 days left of this window. To get a deal over the line is going to be quite difficult. But Osman could be wrapped up by the weekend, I'm being told. And in doing so, Fornals will probably leave quite quickly after. It could be a very big domino effect. And depending on how negotiations go with Jota, Benrahma might be out his way as well. So, again, we don't have much information on Benrahma. Nothing's changed in our stance. We will only do a permanent deal. We're not interested in a loan. Lyon, Marseille, Wolves and Brentford all are interested in him. But as of yet, they're not prepared to pay a permanent fee. They all want loan moves. We're not willing to do a loan move at the moment. Again, I think that stance will change when it comes to the end of the window, especially, like I said, if Jota comes back to us and says, I'm interested in the loan move. They've said that, we want you to pay 50% of his wages. That's £100,000. Yes, it's ballsy, but you get Benrahma off his wages. To me, I think that we could flog Benrahma on a loan deal and be like, look, we just want to make this Jota deal happen. But again, I don't think Jota's going to happen. Maybe Benrahma does happen. We'll have to wait and see on that. But Fornals, as it stands, it seems like he's going to be going to Real Betis, reunited with Manuel Pellegrini, and in place of him is going to be the young Ibrahim Osman. So brilliant business from West Ham if it does happen, which I think it's highly likely that it will. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you think we're being a bit too harsh to sell Fornals and Benrahma? Do you think it's good business to bring in Osman and Jota, two young, inexperienced Premier League players, never played in the Premier League before, to come in and replace them? And of course, as soon as we have the updates, we will keep you informed. And I'll see you on the next one.